Right, and now we are going live. So hello and welcome to round 3 of the V8 Supercars Sunday Series. This is the Ruapuna GP 150 kilometre round. So tonight we've got two 10-minute qualifying sessions, and we got 2 times 23 lap races, both with mandatory pit stops. So let's get to the live scenes where the drivers have about 5 minutes left in the official practice session here. We've got quite a healthy grid tonight, once again with 15 drivers currently on field. We should expect to see one more fill up that last grid spot, but obviously hasn't succumbed to that yet. But I'm fairly certain we will have a 16-car grid tonight. So we're on board with Raw, who had quite a nice rookie performance last week, as well as Azza, and he's currently setting the benchmark times there with a 1:18.2. So, and there goes Raw off the track there. We'll go on board with Azza. I'll quickly get us to the standings as well, so we'll change the scene here. So here is your current leaderboards right here after the conclusion of round 2 at Long Beach, and it's Brennicles with a 3-point lead over Blue XR8. Blue XR8 heading into round 2 had the championship lead, but a low amount of points scored last round means he is relegated back to P2. Ty Morgo sits in P3 after he entered the round sitting in P2. He's currently on 498 points. Carcato, who hasn't made the lobby yet, currently 4th place, so if he doesn't make it, he will see himself relegated down to the mid-pack area on the leaderboard. So hopefully we see him soon, and he's sitting on 471 points. And we've got someone awesome, currently 5th in the championship, the reigning champ. He's got a lot of work to do if he's to bring that points deficit back. He currently sits at 117, so he's got to get rolling tonight, that's for sure. And we got Exo and Nachos, both on 312 points. They're both sitting P6, P7. And as a Ninja, with a wonderful rookie performance last week, he maximised his points last week with a first and a third placing, and he sees himself on 279 points. We got Dean, who currently sits P9 on 231. Darksider, who's not here, unfortunately, he's on 213 points in P10. Then we have Raw, P11 with 210. Morningstar Mike, who missed last round, relegated all the way back to P12 with 204 points. Black Wildcats, first round last week, currently P13 with 180. Brett Want, who isn't here either, on 165 points in P14. Andrew HRT in P15 with 162. Peppy with 156 in P16. Austral in P17 with 144, and then Ghost and the Chapo, both P18 with 0 points, and Ghost has made the grid today, so hopefully we can see a wonderful rookie performance from him tonight. So we'll go back to our live scenes. So it's Azza with a 117.5, and he's closely followed by Brenticles in P2 with a 117.7 there. And then we got Raw with a 118.7. Black Wildcat, awesome time there with a 119.1. Slots himself up in the P4. Blue XR8 in P5. P2 in the championship. And he's 1.8 seconds off the pace there. And he took a massive flip there. He's just binned it straight into the wall at turn 1. So unfortunate there for him. And Morningstar Mike currently P6, 119.6. I'm not sure who went off in the background there, but that was a massive off. We've got Ty Morgo in P7, P3 in the championship. Got to maximise his points haul tonight if he's to remain in championship contention. Heading in the round 4, currently set a 119.8. We've got Exo in P8 who's set a 120.5. Nachos, these two are barely separated in every round, and it's obviously evident on the leaderboards because they sit on the same points in Nachos and Exo. So they're P8, P9 respectively there. Someone awesome. He was in the wars last week. Didn't maximise his points haul last week, and he'll be looking to rebound after round 2. He was sitting P4 in the championship heading in, and he came out P5. So a little bit of a loss there for someone awesome, the reigning champ. But no doubt he should be able to rebound tonight. He's currently sitting P11. That's Ghost going up in the P10 with a 1:21.1. So he's got a little bit of pace to find. We know Ghost is fast. I'm sure he'll get up to speeds pretty quick around the circuit of Ruapuna here. So this track located on the outskirts of Christchurch. So it's fairly close to the CBD. We've got Pepe in P12 there with a 1:24.1. We've got Austria who had a fairly consistent round last week. He currently sits P13 with a 1:26.9. Dean and Hammer both yet to record a time in this practice session. So we'll go on board with the standout rookie. He's rotated it. So we'll go on board with the championship leader now. We'll hand you over the cockpit view, and he's going to make that. He's got no more time to make it across for another lap, unfortunately. So we'll go on board. No, Raw's also followed him around. Black Wildcats is done. Now we're on board with Morningstar Mike. He's P12 in the championship, so he's got a lot of ground to make up tonight in terms of points. And we will, in this league, we will be implementing from rounds 1 to 5. There will be a drop round for the worst round, just to compensate for the guys that couldn't make round 1 or didn't hear about the league. So we're going to help them out and hopefully have a much closer championship with the guys that just joined us last week. So, silly me, I've been doing the same mistakes every time. I haven't got all the stats up there on the screen. So I like to have the track max speeder on splits. And Morningstar Mike with a lot of curb usage out of the last corner. Double apex corner is going to catch out a lot of the drivers tonight. There's many different racing lines that you can take through that corner. Obviously that depends on the track evolution, obviously your tyre life, depending on where you position yourself at that double apex corner. We might see a lot of moves made there tonight. So this practice session is coming to a close now. So we'll just give a buzz of the top 3. So Ghost with a 1:16.3. Oh, sorry I didn't see that before. But that's a freaking awesome time set in practice there. Azza in P2 of 1:17.5. So he's got a lot of time to catch up to Ghost in the next session. And Brennicles, the championship leader in P3 in the official practice. So we'll go on to the 10-minute qualifying session now. I'm not sure who's first to react. There's still no sign from Carcado. It'll be unfortunate if he can't make it. We've got a car doing burnouts in pit lane now. I reckon that might be Nacho. Yeah, he's been lighting it up in pit lane for sure. So first driver out on track. Is it Brennicles? No, it's Hammer. So Hammer in the number 29 Ford Falcon. So he'll lead everyone out for the first qualifying session here. And that's the championship leader, Brennicles. He might be able to get a decent tow here. No, he's going to go ahead of Hammer now. So we'll go on board with the championship leader here. So he'll be the first to cross control line. And surely, if he doesn't make a mistake during the lap, he will come across the line to record the first time. So Rooney, how do you get into this series? So yeah, just give me a personal message on PSN. So my PSN name is the same as my Twitch name, Metamonin. Unfortunately, we're full on drivers tonight. We're still waiting for another driver. I won't be able to get you in tonight, but we might see if we can pop you in next week if there's any spots available. So Brennicles, he's at the double apex last corner now, and we'll get all the splits, track map, and everything up on screen so you can see how busy this track is. And we only have one driver in pit lane in Nachos. So we're on board cockpit view with the championship leader in Brennicles here. Could have went a little bit deeper at turn 1, but he's playing it safe to get a banker lap in here. So awesome strategy play here by Brennicles. A lot of inside curb at that fast left-hander there. Now into the first hairpin here. Very deep on the brakes. He loses the rear end. He rotates it. And that's a lap done and dusted. for Brennicles, the championship leader. I'll go on board with Hammer, who may have had a good view of that there. So he looks like he's struggling with a lot of entry understeer here. A little unfortunate I can't see tyre temps here, because his tyres might not be up to temperature, and hence the severe amounts of understeer Hammer is experiencing at this stage. He's got a couple drivers slotted in behind him here. Oh, takes a lot of the outside, the exit curve there. That's really hindered his exit there, and I think that's someone awesome in the background in the number 1 car. So Hammer's going to go across the control line now. Brennicles sets the fastest lap with a 1:20.8. So we've got to keep in mind he did have a little incident at the start of sector 2. So that's Ghost going to top with a 1:16.5. Awesome pace by him to set his fastest time on the opening lap. And I'm pretty sure that's the fastest time of the round so far. So he could be in for quite a round tonight in Ghost. He missed last round because we were full on slots there. He's sending it to the inside there, and he's half a second up here. So we'll send it on board cockpit view with what should be a standout lap here. So in the mid-sector now for Ghost. We'll get the sector split as soon as possible once he exits the mid-sector. He's got a couple cars right in front of him here. He's flashing the lights there. So what's this going to be? He's 3 tenths up, so he's lost a little bit of a rear end there. He got checked up at the corner there. So unfortunate there. Unfortunate scenes there for Ghost. So here's Roy. He's currently sitting P2 with a nice time there with a 1:17.2. He's 7 tenths off the provisional pole sitter in Ghost. He had quite a good performance last round. Can he back it up though? So let's get the first sector split here at the end of the first sector, which is the entry to the hairpin. So obviously Raw is on an outlet there. Black Wildcats, he's in P3, so silent achiever here from Black Wildcats. So his fastest banker time there is a 1:17.6, so he's only 4 tenths off the front row here. Brennicles, the championship leader, currently sitting on the back end of the second row in P4. Might be on an outlap here. Check the sector split. No, he's not. So he's half a second down on his fastest time in a 1:17.9. So we've got a couple drivers in pit lane. We've got Ghost, the provisional pole sitter. And someone's just exited pit lane now. I think that was Dean. Blue XR8, he's back in the pit lane. Now he's currently sitting P14, and he's P2 in the championship, so he's got a lot of time to find if he's to punch himself up into the top 6 drivers here in Blue XR8. Because his championship protagonist in Brennicles currently sits P5. He's on another hot lap now, so we're currently on board with the championship leader here. He's going around the fast left-hander now. Doesn't take any inside curve at all. We'll get the first sector split here. So he's down by half a second here in Brennicles, and I think Ghost has slotted in behind him there. He'll be on an outlap. So currently in the mid-sector for Brennicles now. We've got less than 3 minutes 30 left in this qualifying session now. So it is prime time to see those quick times being recorded by pretty much all the drivers here. Oh, he's rotated at Brennicles. He was up on his time too. It's unfortunate there. He lost the rear end. A little bit too hungry on the accelerator there. As a ninja, he got the most points coming out of the last round. Currently sitting P7. And he's up by almost 3 tenths on his quickest lap time here. This could put him up into P4 in between that range there. Maybe even P3 if he can find a bit of time in the next 2 sectors here. So we'll take a close eye on this lap for sure. So almost at the end of the mid-sector here. Going to get that sector split right up on screen in 1 corner's time. This is the most technical part of the track. He's almost a second up on his quickest. So currently he'll be able to put himself up onto the front row if he can hold on to it here around the double apex last corner. It's very technical here. He's got a good exit onto the pit straight there. What's it's going to be across the control line. And it's going to be P2 with a 1:17 flat for Azza. He's half a second off Ghost, who set a benchmark time of a 1:16.5. I reckon that benchmark time there for Ghost might be able to hold on. Now Raw, he's exited the mid-sector now. Currently in the last sector. He's got 1 corner to go in the very technical double apex last corner. And you see all the rubber on the outside of the race line there. So if you were to go out there, he's really unsettled the car on exit. Barely held on to it there. What's it going to be across the control line? Obviously an outlap. So we'll stay on board here. We'll get cockpit view up. Oh, he's locked the rears there. Massive lock up in the rear end. And that sees Raw's lap done and dusted there. He might be struggling to get across the control line in time to be able to give it another chance. Currently on board with Black Wildcats here. We'll get it back to trackside view. I'm not sure he's on an outlap because the revs aren't high. So 14 seconds down. Reigning champ, 6P6. He won't be able to improve that. So he might be relegated down a few if a few of these drivers behind him improve on their lap times. And it's extremely close between himself and Ty Morgo. They're only separated by 1/100th of a second there. So this is a massive story if Ty Morgo can get up. So we'll stay on board here. What's the sector split going to be? It's barely down on his fastest here. Got 5/100ths there. So he could be on board for a quickest lap here. A personal best. Wait and see. He's went a little wide there. And I reckon that lap is done and dusted for Ty Morgo. So now Brennicle, the championship leader, will be able to cross the line. And he goes up in the P5 with a 1:17.3. So he will have another shot at getting a fast lap. No, he decides to return the pit lane there. We'll go on board with Exo. He's in the last sector now. He looks to be weaving, so maybe an outlap here from him. Now Pepe, where is he? He's in the mid-sector now. We've got Dean in P15 there, so a lot of time to be gained from Pepe and Dean. But I'm sure... Oh, g'day, DGS7. Haven't seen you in a while, mate. Good to have you on board for this stream. So Pepe will go back onto the live scenes now. He's about to exit the mid-sector here. What's the sector split going to be? It's going to be half a second up here. So if he's to gain a position over Exo, he's going to have to at least get another half a second up on his quickest in the last sector. So entering the last corner now. So he's to get a decent exit there. Got a lot of traction on the way out. So we got 50 seconds to conclude the qualifying session here. And he didn't improve there in terms of grid position, but he did improve. And he almost got over Exo there. So those two are only separated by less than a tenth of a second. So unfortunate not to get that extra attempt there for Pepe. There's Nachos, giving a bit of jandle on the grass there. Seems to be the only car out on track that's actually got manual control here. So there we go, pole position. The rookie in Ghost and Blue XR8. Currently P2 in the championship. That's an awesome time by him to barely be pipped by Ghost there. Finds him 2.5 tenths off the pole position time. Azza, who had a wonderful round last week for a first round in the series, sees himself in P3. Raw in P4. Brennicles P5. We got Black Wildcats P6. Someone Awesome, reigning champion P7. Ty Morgo P8. Morningstar Mike P9. Nachos P10. Austral P11. Hammer P12. Exo P13. Pepe P14. And Dean P15. So that is the starting grid for race 1 of round 3 here at Ruapuna. So here we go. We'll re-emphasise the grid here. So go. Currently sits on pole position. Debut round here. We've got Blue XR8, P2 in the championship. Currently alongside him on the front row. Azza in P3 on this round last week. Looking to push forward from that result there. So hopefully another consistent round for him. We've got Raw who sits alongside him in P4. Brennicles, championship leader, sees himself all the way back in P5. So a little bit of work to do if he can push up a couple of positions here. Black Wildcat, awesome qualifying performance from him in P6. The reigning champ, Someone Awesome, P7. So he's got a little bit of work to do. Ty Morgo, P3 in the championship. Also one of those drivers that got a little bit of work to do as P3 in the championship. We've got Morningstar Mike. This last round, we're looking to get a big hauler point this round. Currently sits P9. Nacho is ahead of his closest rival and Exo. He's at P10. Austral, P11. Good performance from him. Hammer. First round tonight as well. Exo P13 there. P14. So he'll be looking to get a good launch off the line here. So here we go. We're about to start relatively soon. The lights are about to go out here at Ruapuna for race 1, round 3. And we're off for round 3. So wonderful start on the outside from Blue XR8 there. But doesn't have the track position here to get on the inside. But he's going to try to do it on the outside. Massive lock up from him. And Ghost, he holds on for P1. Pushes out Blue XR8 out a little bit wide. And Raw, he's going to make a move heading up into P2. So Blue XR8 loses the position off the start there. And we've got a car going around in Azza. He's off the track. He's off the track. So that's unfortunate scenes there for him. And Dean, he's had a massive jump from last on the grid to P7. What a wonderful effort off the first 2 corners for him. Got Nacho up a couple of positions in P8. Austral up a couple in P9. Pepe up a few in P10. Hammer up in P11. Someone Awesome down in P12. So he's lost a few. Exo in P13. Black Wildcats, the biggest loser off the opening lap in P14. And Azza's also amongst that talk there for the biggest loser off the opening lap. So unfortunate for him. He'll be looking to get as much positions in the later stages of this race. You've got to keep in mind, there is a mandatory pit stop in this race. Now, we'll go on board cockpit view with Blue XR8 here. Currently P2 in the championship. And someone's off there. That's Raw. So Raw, he's had a moment out of the last corner. Now, I did warn the audience here that there will be a lot of mistakes made at the last corner. It's a double apex corner and it's relatively hard to judge how much accelerator you can give it to maximise the traction on exit. So we've seen a couple drivers in the wars on the opening 2 laps here. Got Ty Morgo, who's being chased down by Morningstar Mike, who's in P5. So a quiet achiever there in Morningstar Mike. He's really gaining ground on Ty Morgo, who's currently P3 in the championship. He's lost a little bit of ground on exit of the first hairpin there for Morningstar Mike. Now Dean, he's a further 2 and a bit seconds back from this battle. We've got Austral in P7. So we'll go trackside view here. See Dean in the background there, currently P6. We'll go on board with Ghost. We'll see if we can see Blue XR8 in the background. We can. So he's got a 2-second lead over Blue XR8, P2 in the championship. And then Brennicles, the championship leader, currently sitting in P3, and he's got a relatively huge gap between him and Ty Morgo. And he's going to go past Blue XR8 there. So I reckon Blue XR8 was copped with a slowdown penalty there. So he's had to let out of it. So unfortunate there for Blue XR8 getting caught out in the last sector at Ruapuna. There'll be a lot of slowdown penalties for sure tonight. So this will be the race one of the 2 race round. And they're both going to be 23 lap sprint races with a mandatory pit stop. So Brennicles is up on his quickest race lap time here. That's a 1:18.6. But we've got to give credit to Ghost. Debut round for him. He set fastest lap of the race with a 1:16.8. That's extraordinary pace from him. That's qualifying pace in the race. So I'm not sure if he'll be able to hold on to that pace during the mid-stage of the race. But with lap times like that, he's bound to extend that lead out quite substantially. And as we speak, Brennicles, championship leader, up 7/10 on his quickest. And he's under extreme amount of pressure from Blue XR8, who currently sits behind him. And then we got Ty Morgo, who sits in P4. So the top 3 in the championship, P2 to P4. So these guys are all up in the mix here. So that was the second faster on his fastest time there, Brennicles. Now, do we have any mid-pack battles going on? We do. So, Raw, he's getting past someone awesome there, the reigning champ. He looks to be under pressure by Black Wildcats. He's going to send it down the inside, heading into turn 1. So, awesome move made there by Black Wildcats there to get the advantage over Someone Awesome. Someone Awesome gives him a little bit of a love tap on exit of turn 1 there. So there's no love lost between these 2 guys here. Azza, he's fought his way back up in the P11. He's almost in the top 10 now. He's given extreme amounts of pressure to Someone Awesome, the reigning champ, the driver in front of him. He's really trying to make a move here. Wait and see what goes on here, because he's right behind Someone Awesome's rear bumper here. Someone Awesome, he's got a little bit of damage on the front of his car. The bonnet seems to be squashed up a little bit there, so he might be a little bit aero deficient. And we have an incident there between Azza and Someone Awesome. I'm not sure if Someone Awesome was already rotating before that contact. So I don't think Azza could have made any attempt to not rotate Someone Awesome further there. So wrong place at the wrong time for Azza. So I'm not sure, I don't think there'll be any fight over that, because I reckon Someone Awesome was already rotating. So a little bit too much accelerator there, and as we speak, Blue XR8, he puts himself up into P2 now. So this is the provisional championship lead for Blue XR8, and it's not over yet, because Brennicles is right on the rear bumper of him now. Should have his lights on here, and that's Blue XR8 going out wide there, so that might be another slowdown penalty for Blue XR8 in the early stages of this race. So I'm going to quickly get the timings up on screen now and see if we actually got penalties handed out. So Blue XR8, he's copped a 1 second time penalty. Austral's copped a 2 second time penalty. And as far as time penalties go, that is it. So back to the live scenes now between these 2. And it seems as though Blue XR8, he's definitely lost a bit of ground now on Brennicles. So Brennicles maintaining the championship lead after that move. And that seems to be on between Ty Morgo and Morningstar Mike, who sits a little bit under a second behind him. So there you see Morningstar Mike in the background in that yellow Ford Falcon there. So he's looking to make a little bit of ground under brakes there, but he locks front left. So he's lost a little bit of time on exit there. Now Dean, is he under pressure by anyone? He might be, because I saw a yellow car, blue car in the background there. So Raw is in the yellow car in P7, and then Nacho's also to follow here. Nacho's right on the rear end of Raw here, so is he going to make a move anytime soon? He shows the nose down the inside, but he holds on to his current position here, and there's a little bit of a tap on exit here. So wonderful block on exit for Raw. It's a really hard track to overtake at, and another love tap there, and we got free wide action here as Nachos moves up in the P6. He's got the inside line. No, he backs out of it. So he thinks twice before making that move there, and that was Dean going off earlier in the number 4 Ford Falcon there. So he's had a little bit of a moment. Now he's under pressure by Black Wildcats and Azza, who's in P10. Now Dean's going out wide there. He's really under severe amounts of pressure now. And it's Black Wildcats. He's trying to do the move on the outside, getting the side draft there. And Azza's playing himself into this battle as well. So it's not done between these guys yet. And that seems as though Dean, he's lost track position here. No. Black Wildcats, he's going to have to plot in behind because he doesn't get a good enough exit to attack. But he's going to have a look down at turn 1. He's going to have to be really deep on the brakes here. He's going for it. He just slots in behind there. So Dean still not out of this yet. Still under severe amounts of pressure from Black Wildcats and Azza behind. So after that incident there, Dean's going out wide once again. And surely Black Wildcats puts himself up in the P7. That means Azza is in P8. So unfortunate there for Dean. Seems to have a bit of entry understeer there at that fast left-hander, and you can see him off track there at the hairpin. So a little bit of love tap there from Azza. Rubbing is racing. We've got to remember that, people. As long as there's no deliberate takeout, this is what we're here to watch. We're here to watch people rub panels, go for extraordinary overtakes, obviously, as long as they pay off and don't take out the drive they're doing the overtake on. Oh, Black Wildcats getting the rear end really out wide there. He had to let off the accelerator, and that's going to invite Azza in the P7. So Austral, he sees himself up into the top 10 now, currently P9. So he's looking quite good for another decent result as well. And he's making his mandatory pit stop there, as well as Black Wildcat. So those two are the first two guys to react there. And we're on lap 7 of 23. It's almost a 10-second lead over his closest competitor in Blue XR8, so he's looking very quick tonight in Ghost. His first round in this series. No doubt he's going to be looking to clean sweep this round with the pace he's got, that's for sure. So his last lap was a 1:17.9, so he's keeping that pace up there. But his quickest lap time, I think, was a 1:16.5. So he's nowhere near that time at that stage. But that's because the tyres are definitely going off. And no doubt he's experiencing that after a 2.5 second deficit on his fastest race lap time there. We're on board with Blue XR8, who's under pressure to Brennicles. The guy behind in the number 47 Ford Falcon. A massive lock up there for Blue XR8 on corner entry. So we might have a few flat spots there because we've seen him do that a couple of times now. I was trying to see if we have any battles going on beyond this battle here. But as for the battles, that's as far as it goes. Looks like Brennicles is gaining ground here. He's less than 6/10 of a second down on Blue XR8 now. So he's really making ground now. And this battle is going to heat up next lap. We've got Blue XR8 with the lights on. Brennicles right behind his rear bumper as he follows him in the last sector. Now we're going to the last corner now. They might take two very different lines in these two drivers here in Blue XR8 and Brennicles. So that's Blue XR8 going out wide there. So he's looking to get a good exit, and he does. So he sees himself almost 4/10 in front of Brennicles now. But Brennicles is in the slipstream. So is there going to be a move made? No, so he's not up far enough to make that move. And that's Blue XR8 gone out a little bit wide there on corner exit. But didn't seem to be too hindered by that. Brennicles is trying to hold on the P3. These two have been really consistent in the series so far. We know Blue XR8, he clean sweep the first round at Snetterton. He went out wide there, so he's lucky he wasn't under attack there from Brennicles. We've got Ty Morgo there in the background, so the more these two fight for position for P2, the quicker Ty Morgo will be able to catch up to this battle. So we might see a three-way battle go on relatively soon. We've got to keep in mind, these guys haven't made a pit stop either, so if we're thinking about undercuts, it might be best for Ty Morgo to pit in now so we can catch up a little bit of time to these two guys ahead. And that's Blue XR8. He's got another slowdown penalty. So Brennicle's going to get right past him here. He's really been hit with these penalties tonight. He's going to go another time around. Ty Morgo also follows. So Blue XR8 might be under pressure from Ty Morgo relatively soon now after that slowdown penalty incident. So Brennicle's breezing away in P2 now. He's 9.5 seconds off the lead of this race. And the current leader of this race is Ghost. So he's put no foot wrong so far in this race in Ghost. Awesome performance so far. So we're currently on lap 11 of 23. Another lock up by Blue XR8. That front left persisting to lock up on these slow corners here. He's going out wide there. He's on the dirt and he's under pressure from Ty Morgo. Is he going to make the move soon? Blue XR8 momentarily. He holds on. And very unsettled at that hairpin there. And Ty Morgo right on the rear bumper now as we enter the last sector of Ruapuna. So it seems Blue XR8 got a very good exit there. But Ty Morgo equalising it as well. So now there's Carcato who's joined. So unfortunately he does not get any points for this session. So Blue XR8, he goes in the pit lane. So I think he's trying to cover an attacking Ty Morgo here. And he might be trying to make some ground on Brennicles, who currently sits P2. So we'll wait and get that story up later in this race once we've had everyone made their pit stops. So currently, it's Ghost who leads in P1, Brennicles P2, Ty Morgo P3, Morningstar Mike in P4 now, Raw in P5, Azza in P6, who's tracking quite well in the mid-stage of this race, Blue XR8 into a pit stop in P7, Nachos in P8, and we got Hammer in P9, who's lost the rear end there, Dean in P10, Exo in P11, Austral in P12 there, Someone Awesome in P13, the reigning champ. Oh, he's really kicking himself after another mediocre performance here. He's looking to make a lot of points in the next race for sure, and what he can in the remainder of this one. We've got Black Wildcat in P14, Peppy in P15. So I think currently Peppy is a lap down. So that's unfortunate there because he seems to have got substantial amounts of damage there on the front end. So back to the story at hand. It's Raw who's got a little narrow lead over Azza in P6. And ahead of them, they've got Morningstar Mike in P4. So we're going to have a Raw going out wide there on entry to the pits. But he's going to try undercut here. I reckon he might be trying to undercut Morningstar Mike, who puts himself up in the P3. Azza moves up in the P4. Ty Morgo momentarily, I think he's reacted to Blue XR8, who pitted in a lap before. So as it stands, the top four drivers haven't made a pit stop. As we go down the field, I reckon majority of the guys down there from 5th to 15th have made their mandatory pit stop. So Morningstar Michael's a little lock up there, and that sets him out wide. He almost ends up in the dirt there. Lucky to have not have made a trip into the dirt, because we've seen it really stuff up Blue XR8 on exit here. But I reckon Morningstar Mike's going to be under pressure soon from Azza. The charging Azza. What's the sector split going to be for Morningstar Mike? 2.2 seconds down on his quickest time this race. So these tyres looking to be at the end of their tyre life now. And no doubt that's an indication to start pitting in now, I would think. Now, Azza reacts to, I think, Ty Morgo and Blue XR8. So he's 2 laps behind those guys in terms of pit stops. So Ghost comes in from P1. He's exiting pit lane now. Brennicles comes in from P2, currently P3. So Morningstar Mike is the current leader of this race. But in terms of track position, Ghost has that at the moment because he's the first of the stoppers in P2 and he's only 5.5 seconds down from the lead here. So Blue XR8, he got the undercut on Brennicles there. It was an awesome pit stop made, strategy play there from Blue XR8. So he's provisionally P2 now. So Brennicles moves back into P4, but provisionally P3. Ty Morgo, he's gained a little bit of ground here on his championship contenders up ahead. So he did make the right strategy call there earlier. Raw, who's in P6. He's got a little bit of lap traffic up ahead to negotiate with. But he's got a decent margin between himself and Ty Morgo. 14-second gap there between the next driver in line for Raw. And there's Austral up into P7. I'm not sure if he's made a pit stop. We'll wait and see. But someone awesome in P8. Black Wildcat's in P9 now. So he's moved up from P14 to P9. Nacho's in P10. Got Azza, who's coming out of the pits now. He exits 15 there. He's got a little bit of a bungled up rear wing there. So we'll go back on board with the battle at hand between Blue XR8 and Brennicles. Blue XR8 P2 in the championship. Brennicles P1 in the championship at this stage. But provisionally, Blue XR8 will get back the lead of the championship based on current positions now. But it's Ghost leading with a 13.2 second lead over Blue XR8, who's having to make a lot of correction on the steering wheel there with a lot of counter lock to try to keep that car on the road. So Ty Morgo, he's backed off from this battle now. He sees himself 4 seconds down from Brennicles in P3. And Raw has gained a second on Ty Morgo. Now, where did Morningstar Mike rejoin? So he's rejoined in P6. That means Raw's up into the top 5. He's having to negotiate with lap traffic there, Morningstar Mike. Austral, he's in P7. He's not too far off Morningstar Mike as well. He's only 3 seconds down from him. Someone awesome, 3 seconds down from Austral. See him just going across the screen there. P9 is Black Wildcats. He's got a fair distance between him and someone awesome. And he's got a 6 second gap over Nachos in P10. So there's decent gaps between each of these drivers. A lot of them are definitely in clean air. So some of these drivers may be able to make a lot of ground on some of the drivers ahead of them. There's Nachos, who's 7/10 up on his quickest race lap time. Back on board with Blue XR8, so he's gained a bit of ground on Brennicles, so he's extended that gap between himself and the provisional championship leader. And who's that in the background? I think that's a lap car there. I'm not sure who it is. And we've got Peppy in pit lane. So there's a battle between Dean and Exo starting to heat up now. See a lot of wounded FG Falcons here at Ruapuna. So Dean is trying to hold on the P13. Trying to salvage some points here. And as for the 75% rule to be classed as a classified finisher, that's almost at that stage. I think it's about lap 18. So lap 17, lap 18. Until drivers can be classified as a finisher. What's his lap time going to be for Dean? So that's almost 2/10 off his fastest lap time. So his fastest lap time is a 1:20.7. Massive inside lock there for him. Sets him out wide. And that's Exo going off in the background there. So he's overshot it heading into turn 1 in Exo. It's a 1.3 second lead from Blue XR8 to Brennicles, the battle for P2. We'll go on board Ghost. We'll get cockpit view up. I'll shut up now. You can turn up the volume and view a lap of the race leader here. Lap on board the current race leader in Ghost. It's only 4 tenths off his quickest, so it was a decent time on older tyres, so he's looking quite quick. Now Brennicles, oh, he's been caught up in an incident. Look at the windscreen there, it's all cracked. So I'm not sure what's happened with him, but obviously it's set him off 4.3 seconds off his fastest lap there, so I'm not sure what's happened. Ty Morgo, he's up into P4 and he's right on the tail of Brennicles and Blue XR8. So we're going to have a three-way battle for P2 here. And that's Brennicles getting up in the P2. So this battle isn't done yet. We've still got 4 laps to go here. So we'll stay on board cockpit view. We might go further up and go on board with Blue XR8. He's chasing down Brennicles. I'll have to change my HDMI because there we go. You're alright now. Alright, so a lap car ahead there. So Brennicles, the championship leader, really feeling the pressure, but he's keeping a straight head. He gets a good exit out of the last corner. And Ty Morgo, he's lost a little bit of ground on these two now, so he's himself 2 seconds behind this battle for P2. So heading into turn 1 now. Blue XR8 really deep on the brakes. He's gained a lot of ground in the braking zone at turn 1. So on the rear bumper now, the Brennicles will really be feeling the pressure. Got 4 laps to go, less than that now. Ghost, he's almost on to the next lap as far as he's about to exit the mid-sector now, so he would almost be on lap 21. So Blue XR8 lost a little bit of ground on exit of the hairpin there at the conclusion of the first sector. I think Ty Morgo, he's slowly bringing himself back into this battle here. He's been chipping away past the last lap. He was quicker than Blue XR8 by over a second, so he's really gaining ground on the guys ahead. So you might see a three-way battle for P2 here. And as far as any other battle is concerned, there seems to be nothing that's extremely close. So this is where it's at. The battle for P2. Ghost, last lap of 1:17.4. He's still tracking quite well with extraordinary race pace there. Well, going out wide there is Blue XR8. There's a lot of entry understeer. He's lost him a little bit of time on exit in comparison to Brennicles. Tom Morgo. Still equilibrium here between these three. There's someone off in the gravel there. The lap car. So Ghost with an extraordinary lead of 22.2 seconds over his closest rival in Brennicles. A dominating performance from him. Got pole position and he's going to come home with a relatively easy victory. As long as he doesn't make a huge mistake, he's going to hold on the P1 with relative ease. So he's on lap 22 and the guys following him down are about to enter lap 22 of 23. So it's the ultimate lap for the majority of the drivers here. You see Blue XR8, he's still trying to gain the ground on Brennicles. So it's going to be all or nothing here from Blue XR8 to gain that ground in the next 2 laps. He's going to have to at least be half a second quicker each lap if he's to make a move heading into the last corner. A bit over under 6 tenths of a second down on his fastest lap time there. So he looks to be on quite good pace here. Goes out wide once again. Has caught out Blue XR8 numerous amounts of time so far. Might have to make a little setup change heading into the next race. And that means Ty Morgo slowly catching up to Blue XR8. But I think Blue XR8 has a decent enough gap to remain on the podium. Raw in P5 with a very good performance from him. And he's got heaps of clean air in front of him and behind him. So we'll see him come home in P5. Morningstar Mike in P6. And likewise with Raw. Clean air in front of him and behind him. We've got someone awesome in P7. So he's made up a little bit of lost ground in the early stages of the race. So he salvaged a decent amount of points here in the reigning champ. So he's keeping himself in contention here. We've got Austral in P8 with a wonderful performance from him. Black Wildcats in P9, Azza in P10, Nachos in P11, Hammer in P12, Exo in P13, Dean in P14, and Peppy in P15. So that rounds out the 15 car grid there in the closing stages of race 1 of round 3 here at Ruapuna GP. It's a 150 kilometre round, so 2 75 kilometre sprint races, both with mandatory pit stop. And Ghost is going to get home with heaps of time in hand. It was an easy race for him, a dominating performance from Ghost. He's going to crack up a burnout here, and it's well deserved, that's for sure. Cracking it up now. Brennicles with a bangled up car there on the right hand side. Also on the left, but it's pretty bad on the right. But he's going to come home in P2 in his wounded Falcon there. So he remains the championship leader at the conclusion of race 1 of round 3. And there goes 2XR8 spinning it in turn 1. So he rounds out the podium there in P3. 2XR8 got a car up on the roof. I think that's Dean or Nachos there. Ty Morgo comes home in P4. Raw is going to come home in P5. Morningstar Mike P6. P7 for the reigning champ in Someone Awesome. Black Wildcats in P9. Austral. No, so I think this battle's still going here, is it? No, so Black Wildcats in P8, Austral in P9, Azza in P10, Nachos in P11, Hammer in P12, Dean in P13, Exo P14, Peppy P15. So in terms of championship standings, I know for a fact that Nacho finally gets the advantage over his rival in Exo. They were both equal on points from the previous 2 rounds. So I'm going to get those provisional standings up as soon as possible at the conclusion of this race in 2 seconds. So the guys will have about a 5-minute break, and then we'll go into qualifying 2. So there is your unofficial results there from P1 to P10. Just taking a couple of screenshots here for my reference. Might take a picture on my phone so I can just refer to the championship standings from that, instead of having to get into the screenshots. And it's much easier this way. Just bear with me here. I'll get everyone into the next lobby for race 2. I have a little toilet break, drink break, whatever you want to call it. Everyone's got plenty of time on their hands for sure, considering we're all in isolation here, no matter where you are in the world.
I've got that on recording.
So, I'm just going to get over to Google Sheets now and get these points in. But there could be there could be results for if anyone has any incidents that they want to be reviewed. So just keep in mind, when I bring these standings up on screen, they're only provisional. So I just got a PSN message which I have to quickly suss out. Alright, so I'll get these provisional points up. I still have to refer to the Supercars point system, even though I'm a big fan of their series. The only number I know is a race win, pretty much. 150 points for a race win, so
Look at that video there, because I put my cocktail
in a couple of minutes we'll go to the practice session. So we've got a full lobby here. I'll wait a couple minutes for the rest of the guys. So I'll just keep my cursor on the start there. Hopefully my Google Sheets don't stuff up this time.
I should have had that gulag win there. That pisses me off. But I clicked it and it's exactly what I thought it was.
Just bear with us. We're trying to get a quick turnaround here, but people need a toilet and drink break because these are reasonably long races that require recuperating from before we enter the next one. So just trying to get the points reference for me. Came home in P5. Raw. So yeah, correction there. Hammer didn't make the last round, so that means I'll have to add him to the list here. Just quickly going to put in something here, but it won't be in the same font and background that we have. So I'm going to start up the practice session here. So Morningstar Mike P6. hopefully I'm spectating a driver that's coming out on track. If not, you probably just listen to the engine revs. I'll quickly spectate a car that's coming out on track. Nacho's no doubt is one of those guys. So we'll spectate him. He's going to crack up a burnout at turn 1. We'll just get this done. Right. got those leaderboards ready to go. So we'll go to the current leaderboards now. It's only rushed here, so we've got a couple errors in my equations here, so we'll get them rectified for next round. But Brenical still on top. He extends his championship lead by 9 points to have a 12-point advantage over Blue XR8, who's in P2. Ty Morgo in P3, 45 points behind the lead of the championship. Someone also moves up into P4 as a result of Carcado not making it to the lobby in time, unfortunately. You've got Nachos who moves up in the P6 now. Him and Exo are finally separated, but for how long? We'll wait and see. So Exo in P7, as a Ninja still in P8 there. Raw P9. Morningstar Mike, he moves up to P10. Dean in P11. Black Wildcats in P12. Peppy P13. Austral in P14 there. P15 for Darksider. P16 for Brett Want. P17 for Andrew. P18 for Ghost, but he did come out with the 150 points there. Machapo in P9, no, he's P20. It will be Hammer, who's that blank driver there, who will be in P19, 69 points. So yeah, I'll get this fixed up at the conclusion of this round, and we'll have the proper leaderboards up at the start of round 4. So at the end of this round, it will conclude the halfway point of the season. Or we head into the halfway point rather. So we'll have 3 more rounds after this. So we'll get to the pace setter in this practice session. We've got less than 3 minutes now. Raw, he's the pace setter, finished P5 in the last race. He's looking to make up a couple of positions with this pace in this practice session. We've got Asden P2, Black Wildcats in P3, Dean in P4, Carcado in P5. Good to have him in this race for sure. But fortunately for Carcado, there will be a drop round from rounds 1 to 5. So the worst round will be dropped, and it should put him back into decent contention there. It should put a lot of drivers in contention now as well. So I will not announce the points taken away until we've concluded the first 5 rounds. So obviously round 6 will be the finale round, and we want to have a decent championship battle heading into the last round. So there's Raw there. Currently P1 in this practice session, so he's looking pretty quick at this stage. The Ghost currently sitting P8, 120.9. I'm just going to move this over to OBS for me because my application keeps flickering. So almost 1 minute to play in this practice session, and Azza finally gets the provisional fastest lap time here in a 1:17.3. So he's had extraordinary pace in the last 2 rounds, but we can have a little bit of side-by-side contact there. Considering it's a practice session, obviously there's really no bragging rights here. It just gives us a little bit of a form guide heading into qualifying 2. We've gone on board with Azza, who's in the last sector now, and he had a massive slide coming out of the second last corner there. So heading on the main straight now for Azza. Seconds ticking down in practice session here, and that's Azza going out wide, and Ghost with a 1:15.9. Is this a sign of a 1:15.9 in qualifying? We'll wait and see. Qualifying 2 to follow this session here. So that's the fastest time of the round so far. So awesome pace from Ghost there. Looking good for a clean sweep now. But he's still got to get pole position. And he's still got to get the race win to do so. So we'll wait and see what happens here. The only driver to clean sweep around so far is P2 in the championship in blue XR8. So it'll be an extraordinary effort if we can have another driver added to that list. So there's Azza going off the track there. So we're almost finished this practice session here. We've still got a few drivers out on track. Carcado being one of them. So he's at the last corner now. A little bit of different approaches from the drivers on how they attack the last corner there. So he goes across the line in P6 Carcado. So just waiting for the rest of the drivers to cross the line so we can enter qualifying 2. We'll set the grid for race 2 of round 3. So don't go anywhere. It should be a ripper of a session up next. Dean seems to have lost all of his components on his Ford Falcon.
My shot's hitting. 15? I have to back out. I don't know how my shots weren't hitting.
I'll have to try and get that background noise out. Got someone on the COD in the background, so I'll just mute it for a sec. We're in qualifying 2 now. Just trying to rectify this sound here. Can't seem to get my audio fixed for the mic, so hopefully I don't get too much background noise there. So it's Ghost who currently leads in this qualifying session here, but that is only an outlap from him. So we're ticking under 8 minutes now. We're on board the Black Wildcats here. He's currently in the mid-sector. What's the sector split going to be? I don't think he'll get one. He hasn't recorded a lap yet, so this is definitely a hot lap from him. It was the first driver out, so it was the first to cross the control line. and he'll be the first to get in a bunker lap here. So what's it going to be across the line for Black Wildcats? He had a very good qualifying performance last race. Can he back it up? So a 1:18.2 to open his account. And I see the drivers behind. So that's Brennicles going up into P2 with 1:18.5. 1:18.8 for Morningstar Mike. Carcato, he's going to cross the line, so he's start a hot lap now. Just quickly get the rest of the times up on screen. So who was that? That was Dean coming up in the P6, and we've got Austral in P5 there. Ghost goes in the P1 with 1:16.1, so setting the benchmark times once again in Ghost. Can he get into the 1:15 land here? We'll wait and see towards the end of the session. But for now, he's got a 2.1 second gap over the rest of the field. So that's for Ty Morgo. He crosses the line in P11. Someone Awesome goes up in the P5 there. Azza in P6. We've got Exo in P9. Nachos in P10. Still yet to get a time from Kakado, Peppy, Hammer, Raw, and Blue XR8. Had a disconnection there, unfortunately. I'm not sure what's happened there. So, I don't think I've got a second clip back there because I don't have anything enabled. I keep forgetting to do so. So we should be able to get the second split at the end of the mid-sector here. What's this going to be across the end of the mid-sector here? It's going to be up by 8 tenths with someone awesome. So provisionally he could put himself on the front 2 rows here if he can hold on to it. So one more corner to go for him. Very technical this one. Get on the power too early. You rotate the car, and that's a perfect exit there. Utilising as much exit of the road as possible. And he moves up in the P4, so a front 2 row start provisionally for someone awesome. He records a 1:18 flat. So Brennicles, Black Wildcats both getting in the 17s. And a 15.6 from Ghost, and he's parked it. He knows he's got his pole position here for sure. Blue XR8 moves up in the P2 after recording with a time of 1:16.8. So he's starting to bring the pace back up for the number 5 car there. Raw up in the P3 now with 1:16.9. 1:17.3 from Brennicles. Black Wildcats relegated back to P5. Someone awesome back in P6. Morningstar Mike in P7. So everyone's recorded a time now. So we're just waiting on the rest of this session to tick down. So we've got less than 4 minutes to play here. There's still plenty of time to knock off Ghost. But you're going to have to put in a ripper of a lap to even get anywhere near that. Morningstar Mike almost 4 tenths down on his fastest. So not looking likely to improve this time around. And he loses the rear end there. And that's going to be a lap done and dusted there for Morningstar Mike. We'll actually go cockpit view on board with XR8. He's got a lot of wheel spin on exit out the last corner. What's it going to be across the control line? It's going to be slightly quicker. Only barely. He's binned that. So he's going to return the pit lane, no doubt. Brennicles, the championship leader. Heading on to pit straight now. A little bit of exit understeer, but a little bit of exit oversteer as well. So that's quite a weird phase there. So he was on an outlap there. Stay on board with the championship leader as he takes her around the track of Ruapuna, located in New Zealand. So Brennicles currently 6P4. Second row start at this stage. Now he's been relegated back to P5 now because Azza moves up in the P4. 1:17.1. Brennicles a bit over a tenth down on his quickest, so he's still got 2 seconds to improve. Can he do it? A lot of the curb on entry there, and that unsettles his car on exit, so he might have lost a lot of time there. I reckon he's backed out of it here. Let's try more go on track. He's still in the first sector, about to get a sector split here. He's almost half a second down. He's lost the rear end on corner entry, so lap done there for him. Morningstar Mike to turn the pit lane. Across the line for Dean. About to enter another hot lap here. Goes out wide. He might get the grass. No, he doesn't. He holds onto it. But that would have been a lot of time lost there. Just on that corner alone. So he's got a lot of time to gain now. And he goes out wide. He's going to rotate the car and he's going to roll it. So unfortunate scenes there. An overcorrection results in a rollover for Dean. And Ghost really unfazed in P1 with a 1.2 second lead over Blue XR8. Blue XR8 is in the mid sector. So that's an out lap from Blue XR8. Whoa, a lot of wheel spin on exit of the first hairpin there. We haven't got a sector split, but we stay on board. We've got 40 seconds to play in this qualifying session. So Austral has left the session, unfortunately. Oh, extreme amounts of understeer on exit there for Raw. He had to let out the power severely there. What's the sector split going to be? And it's really going to hinder him. So almost 9/10 down on his quickest. Now Blue XR8, he's in the first sector now. So as for Raw, I reckon his lap's done and dusted. I don't think he's going to make 8/10. This is Blue XR8's last chance, and he's binned it. He's absolutely binned it. At the end of the first sector, he's a second down. Championship leader, currently P5, and he can't improve because he's returned to pit lane. Ty Moore goes down on his time. Black Wildcats, he's exited the first sector there. A little bit of understeer there. He's trying to hold on to it, controlling the accelerator. Double apex corner here as we almost enter the last sector of the track. And this is the most technical section of the track right here. And he's 4/10 up on his quickest, so he's looking to improve here. A little bit of wheel spin on exit, but I don't think it's going to phase him too much. Takes a wide approach. He's trying to get good exit with a decent amount of traction. He does just that, but what's it going to be over the control line for Black Wildcats? So he was the last driver across the line. Does he improve? No, he doesn't. So he stays in P7. So I'll get the screenshots here for qualifying. But that was an awesome lap there from Ghost. With an awesome lap time of a 1:15.6. It's the quickest we've seen tonight. But we're going to get straight into the race here. So we'll go give you a run through the grid here. So Ghost, once again, gets pole position for race 2 of round 3. Blue XR8 once again getting another front row start, starting P2. Championship team. Raw, P5 last race, currently starting P3. Mate. Azza, P4, second row start for him. Quite good from here on in. Last race was a down race for him, but no doubt. Biggest race, Brennicles, championship leader. All the way back to P5. The ground to make once again off the start here. But no doubt he will make a couple of positions at the end of the race. Kyle Morgo, P3 in the championship. Starting number 9 out. Black Wildcats another good qualifying performance from him. He picked someone awesome of 7th position there. Star Mike. Ghost here, who will be the pole position driver here. He'll be looking to convert off the line, but he's got a resurgent blue XR8 starting in P2. So here we go. We're about to go green here for race 2 of round 3 at Ruapuna. Who's going to get it across the line? Get a good start off the line here. Oh, it's blue XR8 moving forward there. He might have a drive through. He moves slightly off the line, but he might be safe there, I reckon. So Azza, he's looking to make a move up in the P2. And I reckon he's going to get it done on blue XR8. Massive lock up on entry. We've got a car rotated in the background there. Got the green car back there. The green car of Ty Morgo, so he's had contact. Now Azza, he didn't make the move at turn 1. Blue XR8 pressuring Ghost here. So Ghost, he might have a bit more pressure this time around, I reckon. Blue XR8 really on his tail. 3 tenths down. He's trying to stay in the slipstream here. He's trying to take note of where Ghost is vulnerable and where he's good. There we go. We'll actually go on board with Ghost. You can see the background behind him. There's a train of cars right behind him. So he's gained a little bit of ground in the mid-sector alone. But Blue XR8 still tracking well, still holding on. With half a second down. So Ghost is extending that lead after the first lap to 7 tenths of a second there. Seems to have a bit more error on his car though. He's losing a lot of time down the main straight here. The Blue XR8 really gaining ground in the braking zone. He gets a decent exit as well, so he's really applying the pressure to Ghost, the race 1 winner. As he's in P3, he's got pressure behind from Raw, who has his lights on, and then the championship leader in Brennicles rounds out the top 5. So battle for P3 is well and truly heated here. Someone awesome in the background there, reigning champ in P6, Black Wildcat in P7, Morningstar Mike in P8, and that train. I'm not sure who else is in that pack of cars there. So Hammer is a little bit further back from them now. He's sitting P9. Ty Morgo, after that contact at turn 1, is sitting P10. XL in P11, Nachos in P12, Peppy in P13. And then Dean rounding out the 14 car grid in P14 there. So I reckon he was involved in the first corner contact there. He may have, I'm not sure if he actually genuinely made the contact on him or if he was just caught out in a rotated Ty Morgo. So back on board. The battle for P3 now is between Azza, Raw, Brennicles, and I reckon Raw and Azza, they're really gaining ground on Blue XR8 for P2. So we might have a 4-way battle for P2 in this race. And is Raw going to send it down the inside? No, he's not. He's going to show to no. So he's just letting him know. He's just letting Azza know that he's there and that he's not going to play it easy. Losing the rear end a little bit there, but he holds on to it. But that shows the amount of pressure that he is under. He's making little mistakes here and there, and he's having to correct from it. So he's got a little bit of an advantage now over Raw. Raw is under pressure by the championship leader in Brennicles. There's Blue XR8 just in screen there, but he's 3.2 seconds off the lead of this race. And Ghost is blazing away once again. His last lap was 1:16.6. So awesome pace there. He backs it up with a 1:16.7. So very good race pace there from Ghost. We'll go on board cockpit view with the championship leader once I get everything up on the screen. Here we go. Lost a little bit of ground here, Brennicle. Very deep under brakes at the conclusion of the first sector, and that's Azza having the correct there, and Raw's having to back out of it. He might have been penalised with the slowdown there, because he seemed to have been bogged down out of the hairpin. Someone awesome. He's a little bit further back from this pack, but we're on board with Raw now, trying to regain position here on Brennicles. There's a little bit of wheel spin on exit there. A mistake maybe, so 1 second down on the quickest race lap. Losing rear end once again, too much accelerator and limited traction. How's it going to fare out the last corner? There's severe amounts of wheel spin for Roy, really trying to hold on to the rear end of this V8 Supercar. We'll go further up on board with Brennicle. Still got a decent gap between him and Azza. See Azza there locking a front left there. Going very deep into turn 1. A lot of inside curves for Brennicles there. A fast left-hander to exit the first sector here, and he's going to be up on his fastest race lap. That's awesome pace. He's right up behind Azza now. Azza gets a good exit though, so you know the wide line. You may be vulnerable on corner entry, but on corner exit you get the maximised traction. A little lag spike there. Brennicle still holding on. At this double apex corner, gets a decent exit, so equilibrium there between Azza and Brennicle in terms of corner exit. It's going to be a very good lap from Brennicle. It's going to be in the 17. Goes last lap. He's still keeping up the fast race pace there with the 1:17 flat. So there is evidence that the tyres are dying off now, but he's still recording very quick times there. 1:17.4 last lap to go. Over the line now. That's 1:17.7 for Brennicle. See if we've got any battles heating up here. So we still have the battle between Azza and Brennicles. And as for Brennicles, he needs to make this move. Oh, massive lag spike there. So Azza still holding on narrowly for P3 over Brennicles. He's 3 tenths down. He's right on the rear bumper now. So pressure's going to be applied in the next 2 laps. So Azza's going to have to prepare for a lunge at the last corner. So Brennicles really aggressive at this stage by the looks of it. Looking to hold on to the championship lead here. A lot of inside curve usage there for Azza. Sets the rear end out. He's going to be under pressure now. Is there going to be a cutback made by Brennicles? He's trying to send it up to the inside. Gives him a little bit of a love tap. And that's Brennicles. I think he's going to move up in the P4, P3. He's got the inside line heading into turn 1. He should be able to get the move done. We'll go back on board with Azza. Cockpit view, there's a little bit of a love tap there as well. So he's trying to do the cutback, but Brennicles blocks it off really well there. Is there going to be a move made down the inside? No. Azza gets bogged on exit there, so he's going to have to wait for another opportunity to arise. And a massive lock up there from Brennicles. That's really hindered his exit. Azza's looking to be on the charge now. Very deep on the brakes. Almost another love tap there, and Azza goes out wide. He locked up there, a front right. He's lost out a little bit of time now. But it's all or nothing here between Brennicles and Azza for this last spot on the podium. We're only on lap 7, so we're still yet to see a driver coming for a pit stop yet. So Azza, he's dropped off the pace a bit now. You see Blue XR8 in picture. It's the first car of the pack. And a 9-second lead to go. He's pumping out quick lap times galore. Across the line, 2 seconds down on his quickest in Azza. We move